the kingdom of Murtana, united by King Robar II. During the long years of his reign, he was able to defeat all foes of his realm. All except one. The war against the orcs took its toll, and the prisoners of the realm were to pay the price. The king needed swords for his army, and every man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Innos. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out the best magicians of the kingdom to create a magic barrier around the entire valley. I was one of them. Something disturbed the delicate structure of magic. We were trapped inside our own barrier. 1 second of negligence was enough for the prisoners. Innos was now under the control of the convicts. The king had no choice. He had to negotiate. He needed the ore. Month after month, the king supplied everything the prisoners needed. Month after month, they brought the ore to the edge of the barrier in exchange. Until the present day, another convict was brought to the cliff. He did not know, but he would change everything.
In the name of King Robar II, bearer of the scepter of Verant, I sentence this convict to...
Stop! Convict, I've got an offer to make you. This letter must reach the leader of the Magicians of Fire.
You're wasting your time.
You may choose your own reward. They'll give you anything you ask for.
Very well, I'll take your letter. On one condition. Spare me the rest of his nonsense.
How dare you!
Keep silent. Right, send him in.
Welcome to the colony.
That's enough. Leave him alone. And now scram. Get up. I'm Diego.
I'm
not interested in who you are. You've just arrived. I look after the new arrivals. That's all for now. If you plan to stay alive for a while, you should talk to me. But of course, I won't keep you from choosing your own destruction. Well, what do you think?
Okay, what do I need to know about this place?
We call it the colony. You'll know already that we produce ore for the king. Well, at least we do, in the old camp. There are 3 camps within the barrier. The old camp is the biggest, and it was the first.
How do I get to the old camp?
You just follow this path. The old camp is the next reasonably safe-looking place you'll come across. There are a lot of wild beasts between the camps. You'd be mad to walk around without a weapon.
Where do I get a weapon?
When you get to the old mine, have a look around. I'm sure you'll find something useful. The mine is easy to find. It's just a few meters along the canyon.
Why did you help me?
Because you needed help. Otherwise, Bullet and his boys might have killed you. And I couldn't just stand by and watch, because I came all this way to make a suggestion.
A suggestion?
Yes. After this little incident with Bullet and his guys, you should be aware now that you need protection. Everyone who arrives here has a choice. There are 3 camps in the colony, and you'll have to join one of them. I'm here to show the new ones that the old camp is the best place for them.
Where's Bullet now?
He and the others bring the goods from the outside world into the camp. You'll find him there, but if you plan to fight him, be careful. He's an experienced warrior.
I have a letter for the High Magician of the Circle of Fire.
Really?
I was given it by a mage shortly before they threw me in here.
You're lucky I can't afford to show my face around the mages anymore. Anyone else would gladly slit your throat for that letter. That's because the mages pay their couriers a lot, and most people here don't have anything. If I were you, I'd shut up until I met one of the mages. Although in your situation, that's not likely to happen.
Why not?
The mages are in the castle in the old camp. Only Gomez's people are allowed to enter the castle.
Who's Gomez?
Gomez is the most powerful ore baron. He's the boss of the old camp, the most powerful man in the colony.
Let's assume I want to join his people. What do I need to do?
At the gate of the castle, you'll find a man called Thoris. Tell him Diego sent you.
Thanks for your help.
We'll meet in the old camp.
It was obvious there would be trouble.
People always talk.
There was a time when things would have
Don't
gone
listen to
very
all the
different.
blathering.
Hey, you.
What do you want?
I want to warn you. If you continue this way, you'll be entering our hunting ground.
What do you hunt?
Mostly scavengers. There's a lot of meat on them. Besides, it ain't too hard to get them, once you know how.
Really? How's that?
Ask my friend Drax here. He knows more about these things than anyone.
Why is this area so dangerous?
You've just arrived, haven't you? There are different areas in this colony which are all more or less dangerous. The paths between the camps are quite safe, but even there you might come across some wolves which look on you as easy prey. And that's exactly what you are until you get a proper weapon and armor.
Where can I get better equipment?
The nearest place is that old camp. Just follow the path that brought you here. But you can get the stuff cheaper in our new camp, provided you know the right people. If you go to the old camp, ask for Mordrag. He's one of us. For just a little ore, he'll sell you the proper goods.
Tell me more about the areas of the colony.
If you travel between the camps, you'll need a map to distinguish paths and dead ends. Dead ends often lead you to dangerous canyons where you encounter creatures you'd better avoid. Do not enter the old ruins. There are too many around here, and most of them are old fortifications dating back to the time of the First Orc War. Some are abandoned orc dwellings. There are often orcs in those ruins, or even worse creatures. I'd avoid those places, especially at night. And one more hint, don't go into the forest.
Where do I get a map?
Ask the people in the old camp. There's a cartographer living there. Maybe you can steal one of his maps. If you manage to do it, take one from me as well.
If I manage to get them without paying, I'll take as many as I can carry.
You're all right. You should consider coming to the new camp. In case you go there, ask for Lars. He takes care of the new ones. I'm sure he'll have a job for you.
Thanks for...
Don't go thinking everyone's gonna be so friendly, kid. There may not be much in a newcomer's pockets, but some folks would even beat you up for a pickaxe.
I'll keep it in mind. You're hunting, aren't you?
Looks like it. What do you want?
Do you have some hints for the hunt?
I could teach you a few things, but everything has its price.
Which would be how much?
A good gulp of beer will do, to start with. Then we'll see.
Here you are. Take a beer and tell me about hunting.
Scavengers. That's what we call the big birds. Should be attacked one after the other. It's easy to lure single scavengers from the pack. If you come too close, they'll become irritated. After a while, they'll storm in your direction. At this point, you should be waiting for them with a raised weapon. If you manage to strike the beast before it hits you, you have to keep fighting. Then you'll be able to defeat the creature without being hurt yourself. If it hits you first, well, just don't let him.
What else can you tell me about hunting?
A lot, but it'll cost you more than a beer. If you know how, you can take the creature's teeth, claws, and skin. It's hard to get them, but they are valuable. At least every merchant will trade those things with you.
Put the weapon away.
That was lucky.
Put the damn weapon away!
Lucky for you.
but I would have enjoyed polishing
Put the
your
damn weapon
mug.
away! I wouldn't like to be...
Wasn't very clever.
That's really not my problem. If you think, as long as I'm not involved,
There must be something about that story, yeah.
you have to watch what you tell people. Let's talk about something else. Hang on, better not go rushing into anything.
As long as I'm not involved. You better not stay here. The orc land starts behind that barricade.
Is it dangerous?
Let me put it like this. You may as well give me all your ore before you go out there and let the orcs rip you to ribbons.
I think it might be best if I just turn back.
Pity. I'd have loved to take care of your ore.
It was obvious that there would be trouble listening to all that blathering anymore. You're very probably right.
Where do you think you're going?
To the camp.
You ain't come to make trouble, have you?
You're in trouble. That's how it goes.
Some people never learn.
Diego says I'm to meet him in the camp.
Okay, in you go then.
Hang on. Better
It
not
was
go
obvious.
rushing
You
in.
shouldn't believe everything you hear.
It's obvious.
You're probably right.
Some people.
There must be.
I wouldn't like to be in his shoes, though.
There was. Some people never learn.
That wasn't very clever.
I doubt that's ever likely to change.
Let's talk about.
Tell me something about the old camp.
It's the biggest and most... Once a month, the king sends us everything we need. We've got the old guy. He sends us wine, bread. You can also get some of it. All you have to do is join Gomez's people.
Hang on. I'm not going to rush into anything.
Take care.
You think?
Hey, you!
Well, there was a time when things would have gone very different. Not my problem.
Something else instead.
I am new here.
Just arrived, have you? I'm Grim. I haven't been here for long either. I was thrown in with the load before you.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
I'd better keep out of it.
There was a time.
What do I have to do if I want to get admitted to this camp?
Well, first of all, you have to become a shadow. Therefore, you have to find somebody who supports you, somebody who explains everything to you and takes responsibility for you. If I was you, I'd try to keep close to Diego. I did it like that. He's quite all right. He'll make you take the test of faith. That's different from everybody. Then there'll be some other smaller tasks from other shadows. If you manage them, you'll be with us.
That won't happen again.
Same old story.
What's life like here?
Easy going. As long as you pay your share of protection money to the guards.
I'd better keep out of it.
That won't happen again.
What was your test of faith?
I can't tell you, man. You have to be silent about things like that here.
Wouldn't like to be in his shoes.
Some people never learn.
That won't happen again.
You don't look as though you'd just let anyone get into the castle.
Only Gomez's men are allowed in the castle.
Go rushing into anything. Let's talk about something else instead. You
There
have to
must be
watch what you
something
tell
about
people.
that story after all.
Thought that had been cleared up ages ago.
I want to work for Gomez.
Oh, yeah? And what makes you think Gomez will be interested in having you work for him?
Probably right.
As long as I'm not.
Diego says you decide who Gomez is interested in.
Huh? If Diego thinks you're okay, why doesn't he take care of you? Look, let me explain. Diego's gonna test you. If he thinks you're good enough, I'll let you into the castle to see Gomez. Whatever happens after that is up to you, okay?
I'll talk to Diego.
Like to be in his shoes, though.
That wasn't very clever. You shouldn't believe everything you
Why don't you give me the test?
It ain't that easy, kid. Any newcomer who wants to get anywhere needs a patron. That patron has to be one of Gomez's people. He'll test you. And if you fail, you're his responsibility. That's the law around here.
There must be something you want done.
No, the things we guards deal with are a bit above you, kid. You just stick to the tasks your patron sets for you.
I'm quite capable of doing anything you tell me to.
Oh, so you're intent on failing, eh? There is one thing that only someone who's not with Gomez can see to. But I'm warning you, you blow this and you'll be in mighty big trouble.
I'm ready for your task.
What I'm about to tell you is between you and me, and nobody else must ever hear about it. Understood?
Sure.
We have a problem with a guy from the new camp. His name's Mordrag. He's been stealing from the ore barons. Of course, that applies to a lot of the rogues in the new camp. But this guy has the nerve to come to our camp and sell our stolen goods to our boys. He's gone too far. But he knows I can't do anything about it.
Why?
Because he's under the protection of the mages.
Must be something about that story after all.
obvious that there would be trouble ahead.
Sounds to me like the mages are your problem.
Yeah, but they're a problem that's hard to solve. A few years back, one of the shadows tried to stab the High Magician of the Circle of Fire while he was sleeping. They found him later in the Outer Ring. In fact, he was scattered all over the Outer Ring.
Some people...
Why do the mages protect that Mordrag?
Because they use him as a gopher. Our local mages are in contact with the mages over in the new camp. They often send gophers back and forth. They're likely to become very unpleasant if I throw one of their gophers out of the camp or have him killed.
What about me? What do you think the mages will do to me?
You're new here. You'll be okay. But I'm responsible for what my boys do. That's why it's vital that you keep your mouth shut.
Where can I find Mordrag?
You'll find him at the south gate on the other side of the castle, just beyond the entrance. The bastard wouldn't dare come any further into the camp.
Same old story every time.
Do you want me to kill the guy?
I want you to make sure I never see his face around here again. I don't care how you do it.
I'll take care of it.
You're very probably right.
You have to watch what you tell people.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Some people
never
There would be trouble ahead.
I've talked to Thoris.
And what did he say?
He says that I can join the old camp if you think that I'm good enough.
Looks like I have myself a new job.
Do we start right now?
First, there are a few things you should know.
That wasn't very clever.
What do I have to know to be accepted in the old camp?
If you want to join the camp, you'll have to earn some brownie points. There are a few influential people in the Outer Ring. Most of them are shadows. If you manage to impress them, it'll earn you a few brownie points. Then you'll have to stand the test of faith. Besides, there are a lot of skills every new arrival has to learn. The more you learn, the more valuable you'll be for us.
There would be trouble ahead.
Let's talk about something else instead.
Who can teach me?
Start with Fingers. He's the most skillful among us. If you keep your eyes peeled, you'll find other people who can teach you.
Where can I find Fingers?
His hut's kind of hidden. It's next to the castle wall. Just start out here and go towards the arena. When you're at the castle gate, go down to the left and you'll be heading for the arena.
Can you teach me something?
Yes, I can teach you to improve your dexterity or your strength.
People don't need to know it.
Rely on somebody and you're in trouble. That's how
If
it
you
is.
There must be something about that
Thought that'd
story
been cleared
after
up
all.
ages ago.
As long as I'm not involved.
things would have gone very differently.
Your strength has increased a lot. Come back soon. There are many things you need to learn.
Same old story every time.
Take care.
Time when things would have gone very differently.
Same old story every
You're probably
time.
right.